Are you eating what you believe is a healthy diet, yet still feeling tired, inflamed, gaining weight, or watching your health slowly drift in the wrong direction? What if I told you that the foods most people associate with longevity aren't the real reason some populations live well past 100, sharp-minded, energetic, and disease-resistant? Here's what's really going on inside your body. Longevity is not about a single superfood, a supplement stack, or a trendy diet. It's about how your daily food choices interact with your metabolism, your immune system, and your body's built-in repair mechanisms. And that insight didn't come from influencers or diet books. It came from Nobel Prize-winning science. Over the last several decades, Nobel researchers studying aging, cellular stress, and disease resistance uncovered something surprising. The longest living people on Earth don't eat more. They eat strategically. Their diets quietly activate internal survival pathways that lower inflammation, stabilize insulin, protect DNA, and keep blood vessels young. This matters because aging is not just about the passage of time. It's about accumulated metabolic damage. Chronically high insulin, constant inflammation, oxidative stress, and a sluggish immune system quietly accelerate aging long before wrinkles or diagnoses appear. Fix those root causes and the body does something remarkable. It repairs itself. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body like a high-performance hybrid engine. It can run on different fuel sources, but it performs best when it switches efficiently between them. Most modern diets force the engine to run in one inefficient mode all the time: sugar burning, inflammation promoting, repair inhibiting. Longevity-focused eating flips that switch back and forth in a way that keeps the system clean, flexible, and resilient. What the research shows is that certain everyday foods, not exotic, not expensive, send powerful signals to your cells. These signals turn on longevity genes, strengthen your immune defenses, improve insulin sensitivity, and reduce the biological wear and tear that leads to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and cognitive decline. And here's the twist. These foods are often not what people expect. It's not about eating more protein shakes, more health bars, or constantly snacking. In fact, some of the most powerful longevity foods work precisely because they create brief, healthy stress inside the body, the kind that makes you stronger, not weaker. In this video, I'm going to break down 6 science-backed insights drawn from Nobel Prize-winning discoveries and modern metabolic research. You'll learn what to eat daily, why timing matters just as much as food choice, and how to activate your body's natural longevity programs without medications or extreme diets. And if this kind of root cause science-first health education is hell. Full so far, consider subscribing. I share content like this every day to help you take control of your long-term health naturally. Here's what's really going on inside your body, and this is where most people get longevity completely backwards. For decades, we were told that living longer was about eating perfect foods more often, keeping blood sugar constantly stable, and avoiding anything that felt like stress. But Nobel Prize-winning research revealed something radically different. Your cells don't get younger when life is easy. Longevity isn't about a single superfood, a supplement stack, or a trendy diet. It's about how your daily food choices interact with your metabolism, immune system, and your body's built-in repair mechanisms. And this understanding didn't come from influencers or diet books. It came from Nobel Prize-winning science. Over decades, researchers studying aging, cellular stress, and disease resistance discovered something surprising. The longest living people on Earth don't eat more. They eat strategically. Their diets quietly activate internal survival pathways that lower inflammation, stabilize insulin, protect DNA, and keep blood vessels young. Because aging isn't just about time passing. It's about accumulated metabolic damage. Chronically high insulin, constant inflammation, oxidative stress, and suppressed cellular repair silently accelerate aging long before wrinkles or diagnoses appear. Fix those root causes, and the body does something remarkable. It repairs itself. Think of your body like a high-performance hybrid engine. It can run on different fuel sources, but it works best when it can switch efficiently between them. Most modern diets trap the body in one inefficient mode: constant sugar burning, constant insulin, constant inflammation. Longevity-focused eating restores metabolic flexibility, allowing the system to clean, repair, and adapt. Nobel Prize-winning research revealed something that changed everything. Cells don't stay young when life is easy. They stay young when they're challenged just enough. That challenge activates a process called autophagy, your body's internal cleanup system. In 2016, Dr. Yoshinori Osumi received the Nobel Prize for uncovering how autophagy works. This process recycles damaged proteins, repairs mitochondria, improves metabolic efficiency, and protects against cancer, neurodegeneration, and immune decline. Here's the critical point most people miss. Autophagy does not turn on when you're constantly eating. Every time you eat even healthy food, insulin rises. Insulin tells your body we're in growth mode. Growth is essential, but constant growth without cleanup accelerates aging. Autophagy activates when insulin drops, during overnight fasting between meals, and when eating is intentionally spaced. This is why long-lived populations like Okinawans and Sardinians didn't snack all day. They ate simple meals, stopped before they were full, and allowed long overnight break. Without knowing the science, they were activating longevity pathways daily. A practical starting point is simple. Create a 12 to 14-hour overnight fasting window. Finish dinner earlier. Avoid late-night eating. Keep morning meals protein forward, not sugar forward. This stabilizes insulin and preserves cellular repair. Autophagy improves mitochondrial efficiency, meaning your cells produce more energy with less damage. That translates into better focus, stronger muscles, healthier skin, and slower biological aging. This is why people often report clearer thinking and steady energy when they stop grazing all day. Now let's talk about insulin, because controlling insulin may matter more for longevity than calories, fat, or even genetics. Insulin is a storage hormone. Its job is to move nutrients into cells. But chronically elevated insulin locks the body in growth and storage mode. Repair shuts down, inflammation rises, aging accelerates. Nobel-linked research on aging pathways like mTOR and AMPK shows a consistent pattern across species. Lower well-timed insulin exposure equals longer lifespan. mTOR builds, AMPK repairs. Longevity depends on cycling between the two. This isn't about deprivation, it's about timing and quality. Eat carbohydrates after protein and fiber. Compress eating into 2 to 3 real meals. Choose carbs that come with fiber and polyphenols, berries, legumes, intact grains. Walk after meals. These simple habits dramatically improve insulin sensitivity. Now here's where food truly becomes medicine. Certain plant compounds, called polyphenols, activate the same repair pathways as fasting and exercise. This is called hormesis, a small healthy stress that strengthens the system. Polyphenols activate AMPK, reduce inflammation, improve mitochondrial function, and protect DNA. Powerful sources include extra virgin olive oil, green tea, dark berries, cocoa, coffee, cruciferous vegetables, legumes, herbs, and spices. These foods aren't exotic. Your information for your cells. Your gut microbiome plays a crucial role here. Gut bacteria convert polyphenols into longevity-promoting compounds that reduce systemic inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. Without a healthy gut, even a perfect diet underperforms. Aim for diversity, not perfection. 30 different plant foods per week. 1 polyphenol-rich food per meal. Avoid ultra-processed plant-based foods. Eat slowly. Digestion matters. Now let's address a misunderstood topic: protein. Protein builds muscle and resilience, but constant protein intake keeps mTOR switched on. Longevity depends on pulsing protein, not grazing on it all day. 2 solid protein-rich meals earlier in the day stimulate muscle growth while allowing repair to occur between meals. Plant-forward proteins, fish, fermented foods, and collagen-rich sources tend to activate growth pathways more gently than ultra-processed protein products. Longevity isn't about suppressing growth, it's about cyclically growth and repair. Finally, understand this: aging begins in the blood vessels. Your endothelium controls blood flow, oxygen delivery, inflammation, and immune signaling. You are only as young as your blood vessels. Polyphenol-rich foods restore endothelial function by increasing nitric oxide, reducing oxidative stress, and calming immune overactivation. Longevity diets are not extreme, they are consistent. They align food timing with circadian biology. They allow daily metabolic rest. They support cleanup before constant growth. Eating less often, not less food. may be one of the most powerful longevity tools ever discovered. Longevity isn't about hacks, it's about rhythm. And once you understand that rhythm, aging looks completely different. Longevity is not built on superfoods, supplements, or chasing the latest diet trend. The biggest misunderstanding people have about long life is believing that adding healthy foods alone is enough. In reality, longevity begins at the cellular level with repair. Every day your body accumulates microscopic damage, damaged proteins, dysfunctional mitochondria, inflammatory debris, and oxidative stress. Aging is not the result of time passing, but the result of this damage piling up faster than your body can repair it. When repair systems are active, aging slows. When they're suppressed, aging accelerates. This is why longevity is not about eating more nutrients, but about creating the internal conditions where repair can actually happen. One of the most powerful repair systems ever discovered is autophagy. Autophagy is your body's internal recycling process, where damaged cellular components are broken down and reused to build healthier, more efficient cells. This process protects against cancer, neurodegeneration, immune decline, and metabolic disease. In 2016, Nobel Prize winning research confirmed that autophagy is not optional. It is essential for long-term survival. But here's the critical truth most people miss. Autophagy does not activate when you are constantly eating. Every time food enters your body, insulin rises. Insulin signals growth. Growth shuts down cleanup. When growth is constant, repair is postponed indefinitely. This is why modern eating patterns, snacking all day, late-night meals, frequent sugar spikes, quietly block the body's most important anti-aging system. This leads directly to the next key insight. Insulin timing matters more for longevity than calories. Two people can eat the same number of calories and age very differently depending on how often insulin is triggered. Insulin is not bad, it's essential, but chronic elevation locks the body into storage mode. Repair pathways like AMPK and sirtuins are suppressed, inflammation rises, fat accumulates in organs, blood vessels stiffen, brain function declines. Nobel-linked aging research consistently shows that organisms with lower, well-timed insulin exposure live longer across species. This doesn't mean eating less food, it means eating less often, choosing carbohydrates wisely, and allowing insulin to rise and fall naturally instead of staying elevated all day. Another critical longevity mechanism comes from an unexpected place, plant compounds called polyphenols. These compounds don't act like vitamins, they act like signals. Polyphenols mildly stress your cells in a beneficial way, triggering hormesis, the same principle behind exercise. This small stress activates repair genes, improves mitochondrial efficiency, reduces inflammation, and enhances insulin sensitivity. Foods like extra virgin olive oil, berries, green tea, coffee, cocoa, legumes, herbs, and cruciferous vegetables contain these compounds. They don't extend lifespan by adding nutrients. They extend lifespan by turning on survival pathways that keep cells resilient and adaptable. What makes polyphenols even more powerful is their interaction with the gut microbiome. Your gut bacteria transform polyphenols into metabolites that travel through the bloodstream, reducing systemic inflammation and protecting blood vessels. This means longevity is not just about what you eat, but how your gut processes it. A diet rich in plant diversity feeds beneficial bacteria, which then amplify the anti-aging effects of your food. This is why ultra-processed plant-based foods fail. They lack fiber, diversity, and the signals your microbiome needs to function properly. Protein is another area where longevity is often misunderstood. Protein is essential for muscle, immunity, and strength, especially as we age, but constant protein intake keeps growth pathways like mTOR permanently active. mTOR is necessary, but when it never shuts off, aging accelerates. Longevity research shows that protein should be pulsed, not grazed. Two solid protein-rich meals stimulate muscle growth efficiently, while allowing repair pathways to activate between meals. This cycling, build, then repair, is what preserves strength without accelerating aging. Quality M. Adders 2. Plant-forward proteins, fish, fermented foods, and collagen-rich sources tend to activate growth more gently than constant ultra-processed protein products. Finally, all of these mechanisms converge on one critical system, your blood vessels. Aging begins in the endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels. This lining controls blood flow, oxygen delivery, inflammation, immune signaling, and nutrient transport. When it becomes damaged, every organ ages faster. Longevity populations consistently eat foods that protect endothelial function, polyphenols, fiber-rich plants, healthy fats, and fermented foods. These foods increase nitric oxide, reduce oxidative stress, and keep blood vessels flexible and responsive. You are only as young as your circulation. The most powerful longevity strategy is not extreme dieting, fasting for bragging rights, or obsessing over macros. It's rhythm, eating with structure, allowing daily periods of low insulin, supporting cellular cleanu, feeding your microbiome, cycling growth and repair. This rhythm is what long-lived populations naturally follow, and it's what modern science is finally confirming. Longevity is not about doing more, it's about removing the friction that blocks your body's natural ability to repair itself. Autophagy is one of the most important biological processes for longevity, yet it is also one of the most misunderstood. Most people believe that staying young is about constantly nourishing the body, more meals, more nutrients, more supplements. But Nobel Prize-winning science revealed something very different. Your body does not stay young when it is constantly fed. It stays young when it is given time to clean, repair, and recycle itself. That internal cleanup process is called autophagy. Autophagy literally means self-eating, but that description often creates confusion. Autophagy is not about starving the body or breaking it down in a harmful way. It is a highly intelligent survival mechanism that evolved to protect us during periods of low food availability. When energy intake drops and insulin levels fall, cells shift from growth mode into maintenance mode. During this phase, damaged proteins are dismantled, dysfunctional mitochondria are recycled, and cellular waste is cleared away. The result is a cleaner, more efficient, and more resilient cell. In 2016, Japanese scientist Dr. Yoshinori Osumi received the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine for uncovering the molecular mechanisms behind autophagy. His work confirmed what longevity researchers had suspected for decades. Autophagy is essential for preventing the buildup of cellular damage that leads to aging and disease. When autophagy functions properly, cells maintain their structure, energy production improves, and inflammation stays low. When autophagy is suppressed, damage accumulates silently, accelerating biological aging. Here is the critical point most people miss. Autophagy does not activate when insulin is constantly elevated. Every time you eat, insulin rises. Insulin's job is to signal growth, storage, and nutrient availability. Growth is essential, especially for muscle, immunity, and healing. But growth mode and repair mode cannot operate fully at the same time. When insulin stays high all day due to frequent meals, snacking, or late-night eating, the body remains locked in growth mode, and autophagy stays suppressed. This is why modern eating patterns quietly sabotage longevity. Even people who eat healthy diets often snack from morning to night, keeping insulin elevated for most of the day. From the body's perspective, there is never a reason to clean house. Damaged components are not recycled. Inflammation lingers. Mitochondria become inefficient. Over years, this leads to fatigue, insulin resistance, cognitive decline, and increased disease risk, even without obvious weight gain. Autophagy is not an extreme process reserved for fasting gurus or athletes. It activates naturally when the body experiences short, regular periods of low energy intake. This is why overnight fasting is so powerful. When you stop eating for 12 to 14 hours, insulin levels drop enough for autophagy to begin. Growth hormone rises, cellular repair increases. This happens quietly while you sleep, provided you are not eating late at night. Long-lived populations activated autophagy without ever naming it. In Okinawa, people traditionally practiced hara hachibu, stopping eating before feeling completely full. In Sardinia and other blue zones, meals were simple, structured, and early. Snacking was rare. These cultures unintentionally created daily repair windows that modern lifestyles have eliminated. Autophagy does far more than clean up waste. It improves mitochondrial quality. Mitochondria are your cellular power plants, and damaged mitochondria produce more oxidative stress and less energy. Autophagy selectively removes dysfunctional mitochondria, allowing healthier ones to take their place. This is why activating autophagy often leads to improved mental clarity, better stamina, and more stable energy levels. Autophagy also plays a critical role in immune function. Old immune cells are inefficient and inflammatory. Autophagy clears out these dysfunctional immune cells and supports the creation of more responsive ones. This is one reason why autophagy is linked to lower infection risk, improved immune surveillance, and reduced autoimmune activity. Another overlooked benefit is DNA protection. Damaged proteins and cellular debris increase oxidative stress, which harms DNA. By removing these damaged components, autophagy reduces the background noise of inflammation and oxidative damage, helping preserve genetic integrity over time. This is one reason autophagy is associated with reduced cancer risk and slower biological aging. Importantly, autophagy does not require starvation. Chronic calorie restriction can be harmful, especially for older adults. What matters is rhythm, not deprivation. A consistent overnight fasting window, combined with fewer eating events during the day, is enough to stimulate meaningful repair. Exercise further amplifies autophagy, particularly resistance training and moderate aerobic activity. Movement creates controlled stress that signals the body to adapt and renew. Autophagy is also influenced by what you eat, not just when you eat. Polyphenol-rich foods such as olive oil, green tea, coffee, berries, and cruciferous vegetables activate the same repair pathways through hormesis. These compounds create mild cellular stress that enhances autophagy without requiring long fasts. This is why diet quality and timing work best together. The biggest mistake people make is thinking autophagy is an all-or-nothing switch. It is not. Autophagy exists on a spectrum. Small, consistent improvements in meal timing, reduced snacking, earlier dinners, and strategic movement can significantly increase repair activity over time. Longevity is built through repetition, not extremes. In simple terms, autophagy is the body's way of staying young by staying clean. You do not age because your body stops building. You age because it stops cleaning efficiently. When you give your cells time without constant insulin, they do what they were designed to do: repair, recycle, and renew. Autophagy is not a trend. It is a fundamental survival mechanism written into your biology. And when you respect it, the body rewards you with better energy, stronger immunity, clearer thinking, and slower aging. Polyphenols are natural plant compounds found in foods like extra virgin olive oil, green tea, berries, coffee, cocoa, legumes, herbs, spices, and cruciferous vegetables. These compounds are not essential nutrients in the traditional sense. You won't become deficient without them. Yet populations that consume polyphenol-rich diets consistently show lower rates of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and cognitive decline. The reason is not because polyphenols neutralize toxins like antioxidants are often marketed to do. The real reason is much more powerful. Polyphenols create a mild beneficial stress inside the body. This process is called hormesis. Hormesis is the same biological principle behind exercise. When you lift weights, you damage muscle fibers slightly. The body responds by rebuilding them stronger. Polyphenols work the same way at the cellular level. They challenge your cells just enough to activate repair and defense pathways without causing harm. When polyphenols enter your system, they activate key longevity pathways such as AMPK and sirtuins, while gently suppressing overactive mTOR signaling. These pathways are directly involved in cellular repair, mitochondrial efficiency, inflammation control, and DNA protection. In simple terms, polyphenols tell your cells to behave younger. This is why longevity foods don't have to be exotic or expensive. Olive oil, tea, beans, vegetables, herbs, and berries all contain powerful signaling compounds. These foods mimic some of the same biological effects as fasting and exercise. They encourage the body to clean up damaged components, improve energy production, and increase stress resilience. One of the most overlooked aspects of polyphenols is their relationship with the gut microbiome. Polyphenols are not fully absorbed in the small intestine. Instead, many of them reach the colon, where gut bacteria convert them into active metabolites. These metabolites enter the bloodstream and reduce systemic inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and protect blood vessels. In other words, your gut bacteria turn plant foods into longevity compounds. This means diet quality alone is not enough. If the gut microbiome is damaged by ultra-processed foods, chronic stress, or lack of fiber, the body cannot unlock the full benefits of polyphenols. This is why whole plant foods matter so much more than juices, smoothies, or supplements. Fiber slows digestion, feeds beneficial bacteria, and allows polyphenols to do their job properly. Another common misunderstanding is equating polyphenols with sugar. People hear plant compounds and think fruit juice or sweetened health products. But removing fiber changes the metabolic response completely. Juice spikes blood sugar and insulin, which suppresses repair pathways. Whole foods do the opposite. They deliver polyphenols slowly, stabilize insulin, and support cellular cleanup. Polyphenols also play a key role in blood vessel health. They increase nitric oxide production, which improves blood flow and oxygen delivery. Healthy circulation is a major predictor of longevity because every organ depends on efficient blood supply. This is why polyphenol-rich diets are consistently associated with lower cardiovascular risk and better cognitive performance. Another powerful benefit is inflammation control. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the strongest drivers of aging. Polyphenols reduce inflammatory signaling without suppressing the immune system. They help the body respond to threats while avoiding constant immune overactivation. This balance is critical for long-term health. What makes polyphenols so effective is consistency, not quantity. You don't need massive doses. Small amounts consumed regularly send repeated signals that reinforce repair and resilience. This is why traditional diets that include olive oil daily, tea daily, herbs and vegetables at every meal outperform modern diets filled with isolated nutrients. The key takeaway from this keynote is simple but profound. Longevity foods don't work because they add something to your body. They work because they activate something already inside you. Polyphenols are not fuel, they are instructions. When consumed as part of a whole food, fiber-rich diet, they tell your cells to adapt, repair, and resist aging. This is why food truly becomes medicine, not by overpowering the body, but by teaching it how to function better on its own. Your body is designed to switch between two primary modes, growth and repair. When you eat, insulin rises and the body enters growth mode. Nutrients are STO. Tissues are built and energy is used. This is necessary and healthy. But when eating happens all day, snacks, late dinners, constant grazing, growth mode never turns off. Repair mode never fully activates. Over time, this accelerates aging. This is where meal timing becomes critical. Research on time-restricted eating consistently shows improvements in blood sugar control, inflammation, mitochondrial health, and gene expression linked to aging, even when calorie intake stays the same. The benefit doesn't come from eating less food. It comes from allowing insulin to rise and fall naturally instead of remaining elevated from morning until night. Daily periods of low insulin signal the body to switch into maintenance mode. During these windows, fat burning increases, inflammation decreases, and cellular repair pathways like autophagy become more active. These repair processes protect organs, blood vessels, and the brain from long-term damage. One of the most important principles is aligning eating with circadian biology. Insulin sensitivity is highest earlier in the day and declines in the evening. When large meals are eaten late at night, blood sugar remains elevated longer, sleep quality worsens, and hormonal regulation is disrupted. Growth hormone and melatonin, both essential for repair, are suppressed by late eating.